Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Fire and Ferment. I'm Zach. Today, we're going all in, making a Thanksgiving ham completely from scratch. That means taking a raw pork roast, curing it, smoking it, and then finishing it with an amazing honey glaze from Luke and Caitlin at 5 Acre Farm. Luke's the guy over at 5 Acre Farm, and he was kind enough to give me a tour of his place, as well as give me this jar of honey from his bees. So excited for this one. Go check out 5 Acre Farm on YouTube to see what Luke and Caitlin have been up to over there. So this isn't just a recipe, this is a process, a tradition. And when you bring a ham like this over to the Thanksgiving table, everyone's gonna know you put love into it. Let's dive in. So for this project, I've got a fresh bone-in pork leg roast. This is about 10 pounds. No curing, no smoking, nothing yet. This is just the raw cut. You could just use a raw pork shoulder if that's easier to find, but the idea is the same. We're gonna transform this into ham through our curing, brining, and smoking. This process starts about 10 days before the cook. So we gotta cure this bad boy. So to make ham, first you need a cure. What I've got here is a 12-quart Cambro that we're gonna cure this in. Here's my mix. 1 cup of kosher salt. I'm using Diamond Crystal. 1 cup of brown sugar. 1 tablespoon of pink curing salt number 1. This keeps it safe when we cold smoke it and gives our ham that classic rosy color. 1 tablespoon of black peppercorns. 5 bay leaves. 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. We're also gonna throw in some juniper berries, mustard seed, 3 cloves, and a cinnamon stick for that holiday flavor. Then we're gonna top it all off with 1 gallon of cold water. Now we just need to stir this all together until everything completely dissolves. Now we just submerge our pork completely. If it wants to float, just weigh it down with a plate. Then we're gonna cover it and let it sit in the fridge for 10 days. Yup, this is a commitment, but that's what transforms pork into ham. Every couple days, we're gonna rotate that ham so the brine penetrates evenly. So after about 10 days in the cure, we wanna take the pork out and give it a good rinse under cold water for about a minute. We don't want it too salty on the outside, so this helps to desalinate it. It also helps to rinse a bunch of these coarse spices off. Then we'll pat it dry. And we'll let it sit uncovered on a wire rack in the fridge overnight. This helps create a pellicle that's gonna allow that smoke to stick even better. It's amazing how heavy this thing is. I bet this ham has doubled in weight over the last 10 days, just taking on all of that cure and that moisture content. So now it's time to put on a rub. I've got one I've already made up. This rub consists of 5 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2.5 tablespoons of paprika, 2.5 teaspoons of 16 mesh black pepper, 2.5 teaspoons of mustard powder, and 1.25 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. All right, so we just need to get this rub all over the outside here. Just an even coating is all we need. That drying in the fridge overnight really helps create a thick pellicle that's gonna help our bark form. We've gotta get every single square inch of every side. Just nice and even is all we need. The brown sugar is gonna really give us some sweetness on the outside and help us form that bark. The paprika is mainly for color. That black pepper and that cayenne will give it just a little bit of a kick and some heat. That mustard powder is really gonna help us get that classic ham flavor. That right there looks pretty good to me. Let's get our pit fired up. Just a few little lumps of charcoal, nothing crazy. We're not trying to get a big fire here, just a little bit of a smolder. So for smoking today, we're gonna go with post oak. We're gonna cold smoke this. We'll get our smoker to about 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll run a semi-clean, semi-dirty fire here, vents partially closed. And we'll get our ham on and let it run for about 6 hours between 80 and 90 degrees. Yeah, we just want to keep a little flame here. Kind of a dirty, smoldering fire that we're going to be burning for the rest of this cold smoke. This video is brought to you by our sponsor, Woodchuck Firewood. Man, the Woodchuck facility is full of tons of different kinds of wood. Every single type of wood that you would ever need for barbecue, running a backyard fire pit, or an indoor fireplace. If you need to find any type of wood that you can even possibly think of, check out Woodchuck Firewood at the link below. Woodchuck Firewood is based out of Valley Center, Kansas, but have no fear. They ship their wood to you as long as you're in the continental 48. And by the way, you can use code 20OFF to get 20% off your next order with Woodchuck Firewood. Okay guys, it's been a really good day. We've been cold smoking this ham for about 4 hours. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it off the cold smoke. We're gonna put it back on a wire rack and into the fridge overnight. This is gonna help that smoke flavor mellow out just a little bit, and it's gonna help us get an even drier pellicle, which is gonna give us an even better crust when we cook this thing up tomorrow. Yep, so quite a bit of good smoke penetration here. That color's definitely darker. When you see a red color on smoked meat like this, that's just pure smoke flavor that's been laid down. So we're gonna take this off, we're gonna bring it in, we're gonna put it back in the fridge, let it hang out overnight, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow to get this cooked up. All right guys, it's the next day. So this ham has been fully cold smoked, but it's not cooked yet. It's still completely raw. So if you were to try to eat this right now, you'd probably get sick. The reason we did that is because it lets the ham exterior dry out just a little bit more so that that pellicle on the outside is a little bit more firm. That's gonna give us a better bark. And it also lets the pungent smoke start to mellow out just a little bit, and it'll even let that smoke start to absorb deeper into the meat. You don't have to do that process, but if you're trying to get the best ham possible, as long as your ham is fully cured, it's totally safe to put it back in the fridge after cold smoking. I've got the smoker going out back. We're at 225 to 250 degrees, and we're gonna put this bad boy on and get them all cooked up. I'll see you guys out there. So the target internal temperature for the ham is gonna be about 145 internal. So it's really simple. We're just gonna cook this bad boy till it hits 145. I anticipate that this is probably gonna take about 3 or 4 hours, but we'll see. I'm flexible today. So we're just gonna check back in about an hour and see where we're at internal temp wise. All right guys, it's been about 1 hour in. Let's take a look. Yeah, about 75. That's right near the bone. Yep, and that would follow. Towards the edges, we're just a little bit hotter, like 105. We're just gonna keep going. So while this is cooking, we gotta run inside and make our glaze. We'll add the glaze when the internal temp hits about 130, so it can finish to 145 and caramelize the glaze on the outside. So this is where the magic of 5 Acre Farm's honey comes in. We'll get our saucepan to medium heat, 1 cup of 5 Acre Farm honey, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and a pinch of cloves, as well as a cinnamon stick for that Thanksgiving aroma. By the way, you don't have to use 5 Acre Farm honey for this. Really, any honey you have will do, but that 5 Acre Farm honey is really gonna give us some special flavor here. I got to sample their honey when I toured their place, and I gotta say, it's got a really unique flavor profile, so I'm really excited to see how it's gonna work in this glaze. We'll go ahead and add just a pinch of salt too. We just wanna stir constantly until this mixture becomes sticky and syrupy. This glaze is sweet, tangy, and aromatic, and the honey gives you a depth of flavor you just can't buy in a squeeze bottle. All right guys, so it's been about 3.5 hours. Let's take a look. The ham's sitting right at 130 internal. Perfect moment to glaze. And I didn't guess that temp. I hit it with the ThermoPro Lightning, a 1-second probe thermometer that's dead accurate and fast. When you're cooking from scratch, timing matters. You don't want to stand there waiting for a read or second guessing if you're early. With the Lightning, I get the number instantly, so I can move with confidence. Right now, I'm brushing on glaze to start building that tacky crust. This is where flavor gets locked in. And because I know I'm exactly at 130, I'm not wasting a single moment of smoker time. I'll hit it once, let it caramelize, then add 2 or 3 more layers up to that finish of 145 internal. That's how you get clean slices and deep flavor. If you're serious about cooking, especially over a fire, the ThermoPro Lightning is the tool. 1 second, no guesswork, just precision when it counts. So click on that Amazon link below for 35% off your very own ThermoPro Lightning at its original price of $69.99 on Amazon. I want this for you, and you will want this for you too. So click on that link and grab you a Lightning. Don't miss out. Yeah, so all we're doing is just working this fire just to keep it between 225 and 250 in the cook chamber. All right, so now we're at about 145 degrees internal. Now we're gonna take it off and bring it inside and tint it with foil for about 20 minutes before we carve in. Yeah guys, so the smells here are just absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to dig into this and give it a try. Just look at that. Rosy pink inside, juicy, smoky, perfectly glazed outside. This is the kind of ham that makes Thanksgiving unforgettable. Oh yeah, sweet from the honey, smoky from the post oak, just the right amount of salt from the cure. This tastes like tradition. This ham is about 10 pounds, and I feel like I could eat all of it. And that is how you make a Thanksgiving ham from scratch. It takes some planning and patience, but the results are absolutely worth it. Big thanks to 5 Acre Farm for the honey that made this glaze shine. I'll drop a link so you can check them out. If you're new here, I appreciate you checking out the channel. Drop me a comment. What's on your Thanksgiving table this year? Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you next time. Happy Thanksgiving.
That is how we make honey ham at Fire and Ferment. If you like this type of content, you want to see more of it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click on that little bell icon so you don't miss any new content. I love you guys, and stick around.